and welcome to my channel. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to my channel for weekly videos from your girl. If you haven't already, I mean, I will take a second if you want to, just saying. But anyway guys, so I wanted to get creative with you guys, and I want to make a video about my teenage years, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's get started. Okay, so things I would tell myself. Okay, when I first started school, I always loved school, and I still do till this day, but I wasn't really that focused like in elementary school and like the beginning years. Well, actually high school, I didn't take anything like that serious. I kind of just went with the flow. So I don't know, it was just really different and really weird for me. And then when I got to college, I just got like really serious about academics. So something that I would tell my teenage self is to just I wish that I was more focused, because I probably would have really got a full ride somewhere else, somewhere like Harvard or something, like for real, or I don't know, somewhere like something like really legit, like something like really smart, because I am pretty smart for my, I'm really smart, I'm just saying. Okay, so guys, as far as guys are concerned, like what I would tell my teenage self, it was always really rare. I would always look really very mature for my age. So like guys will always be intimidated to talk to me for some reason. Like they were afraid to talk to me, as if I was, I don't know, as if I was like 16 years old talking to a 26-year-old. And I'm like, I don't know why people thought of that of me, but like it took forever for me to actually like become in a relationship. But I do remember when I was in 9th grade, I had dated this guy, and he was actually in 12th grade, and it was just like really weird, like I feel like, I don't know, I was always into people that were older than me for some reason. Or I feel like that's what I really attracted, or anyway, I don't know, it just seemed like I attract more guys that were older than me. But anyway, so I dated him for a little bit, and it was just like really weird. Like, I really liked him, but obviously he was ready to do things that I wasn't really ready to do. So I'm what I would say to my teenage self then was just like a really good job at just still being on myself and not growing up too fast. Yeah, so that was definitely something that I should check for good deeds with that one. Next thing is just like sibling relationships. Like I feel like with my siblings, well, like I always had a really close relationship with my sister and my mom. We call ourselves like the Three Musketeers. Like we're like super tight. And yeah, my teenage years, I feel like I wasn't really around like my mom and my sister as much as I am now that I'm older. I'm not sure if that's just something that is like a step in life that you experience, that when you're in elementary school, high school, and things like that, you separate yourself from your family. You're not really as close with your family as you should be. But then once you hit like in your 20s, it's like almost like you're more into your family. I don't know, is that kind of weird? I don't know, I think that's kind of weird. I don't know. But yeah, so something I would tell my teenage self is just like having a good balance. So like if you're in your teenage years, make sure you have a really good balance between your friends and your family. Only because your family's always going to be there, and that's really the people that you can trust the most. But yeah, so definitely an advice for teenage years with that is to have a good balance and appreciate the people that are surrounded around you, especially if they're your family. So when I was in elementary school, when I was in high school, my dad used to give me lunch money, and it was $10 a week, or sometimes $20. No, it was $10 a week when I was in elementary school, and then it was $20 when I got in high school. But y'all, I never used it for lunch, ever. Like something I would tell my teenage self is to actually maybe I could have saved that money for one. Two, like I never told him that I didn't have to pay for lunch. Like I think it was just one of those things that like my sister had to pay for her lunch, so he used to give her money. So like naturally, as I got into that stage, he gave it to me, and I never said anything. So like something I would tell my teenage self is just to be more honest. Definitely to be more honest. But if you guys are wondering what I did use the money on, so I went to school downtown where I'm from, and we actually had a deli that was next door, and we had a CVS that was right next door to our school. I know that sounds so crazy, but if you all downtowns is more city-like, so if you live in a city, it's kind of more understandable. So I used to go to CVS, get a bag of hot Cheetos, makeup sometimes, eyeshadows, and a bagel from next door from the deli, or just like, I don't know, something for in the morning, like a sandwich or something like that. So technically I did kind of use it on food, but I kind of use it on other stuff as well. And I didn't realize how like blessed I was until like I kind of looked back on it. But yeah, I definitely didn't use it for lunch money. Sorry, Dad. Another thing that what I would kind of teach myself in teenage years, don't listen to everything that someone's telling you. So like, okay, for example, siblings. If we're going back to siblings, my sister, oh my goodness, teenage years. Okay, so the funniest thing, my sister had told me, okay, my sister is 5 years old. I like to say 4.5, but she likes to say 5. But I'm gonna just say 5 just in case she's watching this. She's 5 years old. Actually, no, I'm saying 4.5. She's 4.5 years older than me, okay? So she was developing more than I was, obviously, because she's 5 years older than me. And I always wanted to spend time with her friends and things like that, and she would never let me be around her friends. And I'm like, what's up? Like, you know, like I can be like cool and hang with you guys. And no, she was not having that. She was like, no, you need to hang around people your own age. Which, you know what, I really respect her for that, because I was able to not develop so quickly, you know, attracted to boys and things like that. And I was actually able to act like people my own age versus acting like someone that's freaking, I don't know, acting like, if I'm 10 years old, I wasn't acting like I was a 19-year-old basically. So I don't know, it was just kind of appropriate, and I didn't think about it that way. So something I can tell my teenage self, or to you guys, is just kind of listen when someone's telling you something, because sometimes it can be the best advice. But anyway, so again, going back to my sister was developing a lot more than me. Okay, so she was getting boobs, right? So I was like, you know, like I want boobs too. Like, where's my boobs at? So I'm like, you know, like what can I do to get my boobs to grow faster? Because again, my sister was 4.5 years older than me, and I'm like, you know, like where are my boobs at? Like I want boobs too. So she told me that if I drank a gallon of milk, my boobs would grow. So I'm like, yeah, I'm about to drink this milk. I'm going to drink it all. Matter of fact, I'm going to drink 2 gallons of milk in one day, and I'm going to wake up and my boobs are going to be so big. Ain't no way I'm going to be in a D cup. I just knew I was going to be in a D cup. You could not tell me nothing. I knew I was going to be in a D cup. So I drank the milk. However, my boobs did not grow. However, I was super duper sick. And it's so crazy that we still laugh about this story until this day. Like I really believed, and I was so naive, like I believed anything my older sister told me, and that was just one of the most hilarious things. And I got so sick, and my sister got in so much trouble, but I was just dumb enough to listen to what she was telling me. So something I can say to teenagers and something to my teenage self is to not listen to what everybody tells you, because it's not always true and you can end up in the hospital. So something else I would tell my teenage self is to listen. Like I used to, okay, so things when you're a teenager, you always think that you know everything, and that that if your parents tell you something that's right or what's wrong, you're like, no, like I know me, I know this and that. No, you don't. No, you don't. I'm telling you, listen to your parents, guys. Listen to your parents, because they really know a lot. They've been through it. They know what, like, just listen. Like if you're crying because a boy hurt you, there's more people out there for you. Yes, that is true. If you, I don't know, have test anxiety, and you know, and they're trying to teach you what you can do, like, I don't know, just listen. I know that was random, but just listen to what they're trying to tell you, and be more open into the things that they're trying to introduce you to, or a lesson that they're trying to teach you. Sometimes when you're like a teenager, you really don't want to hear anything that your parents have to say, but 9 times out of 10, like, they're always right. Like majority of the times they're right. Just saying. Like I have to admit it. Now that I'm older, I literally have to admit that they're right. Another thing I would tell my teenage self, and if you are a teenager, is to cherish the moments. Like have fun, go out and do things. Like don't sit in your room, you know, be open to meeting new people, and don't always be stuck within your clique. And what I mean by that, I'm not saying like to just kind of distance yourself from the people that you're always with, but be more open into meeting new people too. Like, you don't have to be the best of friends, but you can at least speak to people, you know. I feel like sometimes as teenagers you kind of surround yourself in this one little particular group that you're associated with, that you don't really notice about, like, you don't notice all the people that are around you. So I'm just saying, like, just take this time to speak to people. Unfortunately, I can't tell my teenage self to do that, because I was that person. I was bubbly. I loved everybody. And like, that's mainly like the best advice that I can give to teenagers now, is to not be so like mean and to speak to everybody, like seriously, because you really don't know what that person is going through. You never know if you're speaking to that person, if you're making their day, things like that. So definitely that's something that needs to be changed around like the whole board. And yeah, so definitely write that down as a note, just saying. Yeah, so I think that's about it, because right now I'm kind of like don't know what else to talk about. But if you guys like videos like this, please make sure you comment, rate, and subscribe for more weekly videos from your girl. But you guys know what I always say, deuces.